Hey, what's up you guys? ShartimusPrime here doing another Marvel Legends action figure review, and today we're looking at the 2025 Spider-Man Retro Card Waves Electro, which I know nothing about. I don't know anything about this character. Why did I pick her up? Because I like having new characters in my collection. Plus, it does look pretty cool. There are some pretty cool effects in here, we'll see. And I will do some reading on this Electro from now until point we actually look at the figure out of the box. Anyway, not a whole lot to say about the packaging. On the back, you can see a nice product shot. There's the other figures from the wave. I did find one other figure from this wave while doing my Target hunt. Big thanks again, Nerd Zone. And there's a read up over here. If you want to read it, go ahead and pause it right now. All right, let's get to it and crack this thing open. If you're trying to get your Marvel Legends, you can do so at
Big! Get your big badass toys at BigBadToyStore.com. Click the link in the description below.
And here's Electro out of the packaging. And to be honest with you guys, this is a figure I was not really looking forward to. And it may still be my least favorite figure from the wave after I get them all. But I have been having more fun with it than I thought I was going to. I really like these electricity effects. I think they're pretty damn cool. Body's okay, and we'll get into all of that stuff first, because I have my gripes, but there are things that I like as well. So let's get a closer look at those accessories, and then we'll take a closer look at the figure. So we do not get two heads. I typically like having two heads with my figure, but we have two sets of hands right here, and we have these two electricity effects. At first, I really didn't feel like I needed to have the set of fist hands right over here, but you know what? After playing with the figure for a bit, I'm really glad that they actually did include these fist hands. And yeah, of course, we've seen these open hands before. These electricity effects, I do not remember seeing them before. I really like these a lot. Now, I did read a book where her effect color was yellow instead of blue, but there's art where it's blue instead of yellow, so it could be either way. I'm giving up on that. I'm not going to die on that hill. You could have yellow or blue for Electros. Anyway, I love that these are unique sculpts over here. At first, I thought they were the same thing, but they're not. And then they have this interesting clip system over here, which I really like, and I want to demonstrate. I find it to be a little bit easier to do this without having the hand on there. So I like to weave through this and then go through that little loop right there, and you can see the shape for the wrist. And then after you've done that, you could go ahead and just port the hand on there. And for me, I think that's the coolest thing to do. You could rotate this around however you'd like. So if it makes more sense to go like that, you could do that. Or you could just put the hand on there and port them on. So you could do a similar thing right here with it already on there. And then just use that little C clip shape to just go around the wrist. Yeah, like that. And you could do that too. So either way works. I just figured it'd be useful to show off both ways. Which way do you prefer? So when this figure was first announced, I didn't recognize her, but as I've been doing my research, I started to realize that I actually do have some comics with this Electro in it. And I did read one of the books from the Miles Morales Spider-Man, where she teams up with the Sinister Six, and you see her with Sandman and everything, and she's fighting the champions with the Sinister Six, and I think later on she joins the Sinister Syndicate. So there's a lot of characters that you could put this figure with. And I do like this head sculpt. This looks really good. I love the smile. The teeth look really good. The eyes look great. I haven't zoomed in on the teeth yet, but I don't see any weird black stuff on her teeth or anything. It just mostly looks really nice. I would prefer to have an alternate head, but I like this one. And we have the Shriek body mold over here, so, you know, the articulation is very familiar, even though the upper torso is different from Shriek's, so it's not the same upper torso. And we have some decent paint apps in some places, and really bad paint apps in other places. So the yellow over the black is really tricky. It's not working over here. You can see that thin paint, but they did apply multiple coats, because on the back, where it's a little bit smoother, you don't see it as transparent or that black coming through nearly as much. And then you can see on the front, again, I think it's this indentation around the clavicle right there that's making that happen. So that's very unfortunate that the factory doesn't have that down. You can see how the lightning bolt kind of thins on some of these edges. It's a little bit staggered, and it's not meant to look like that. I would recommend heating this figure up. I'm not going to go over the articulation fully because we're familiar with it, but yeah, these elbows, if they get stiff on you, you don't want to break the biceps, so just be wary of that, especially on this upper elbow joint for me. That one gets stiff a lot. I feel like, I'm okay, but get a little worried about that sometimes. On this side, I just wanted to mention that the fists do look a little small, like the wrist kind of disappears or something, like the hands are meant for another figure. It doesn't really match 100%. And then you can see that they added these nice pieces right over here, which I did read in that Miles Morales Spider-Man book from 2018, and that's cool that they added that on there. The yellow does look fairly solid on the lower torso right here, so I'm happy with that. And then you can see the legs. You get these mold seams right here that break things up. That does not look good. And then on the back right here, we've seen, the streak Nalgas before. In person, the green, yeah, you can see the difference. Doesn't match up perfectly, but it's not really distracting me enough from the figure to not have a good time with it. This is a little bit of an odd design choice right over here, and that's a lot of yellow paint over the black. They actually pulled it off really well. You can see that they actually put some white on it first and then painted it yellow. You can see some of that paint chipping off right over here too. So there are parts where it's a little bit faint, but it does not feel like they only gave it one cheap little coat on it. There was effort put into painting this. Anyway, there's the feet, and you get peg holes. Now to measure out this Electro figure, you can see that to the top of that starfish face, she's at about 6.5 inches tall. Now to get into size comparisons, here's our Francine Frye Electro next to our Spider-Man Retro Card Wave Matte Dylan Electro, my favorite Electro in the collection. Then here's Electro next to Shriek, and we have Phoenix. I wish they had gone with this body mold. This is my new favorite female body mold. And here's Electro next to the only other two Sinister Syndicate figures that I have. We have the Janice Beetle, and we have White Rabbit. I am interested in getting the other characters from this team, especially the female Doc Ock. Then here's Electro next to a couple of heroes I saw her battle in the books. We have Miles Morales, which, yeah, can't wait to get the new one. And we have the totally awesome Hulk. And then here's the Francine Frye Electro next to your average 6-inch scale figure. We have the Marvel Legends Big Time Letdown Spider-Man. Oh, see, you appreciate the color. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I certainly enjoyed this figure more than I thought I would. If you liked the video, I'd appreciate it if you hit that like button. And if you want to subscribe for more, well, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I did find another figure from this wave, so expect that review soon. And if you want to hit that join button to catch it early and ad-free, well, go ahead and hit that join button. Now, this figure isn't going to be for everybody. As I've said many times, I like having new characters on the shelf, and I'm going to put her next to my White Rabbit figure. So there's a spot on the shelf, or against the wall anyway, for her to go, but not everybody's going to feel that way, and that's the cool thing about this not being a Build-A-Figure wave. You're not missing a Build-A-Figure piece by passing on this figure, so I understand it's not for everybody. I think the execution of the figure is decent, not great. There are parts where the yellow does come out nicely and it looks pretty good, and then there's those shoulders that are just blaring at me, that I can see those globs of yellow, and it just looks really bad over there. So it's definitely not a perfect figure. It does have some issues, but overall I did enjoy this figure, man. Like I said already, I like having new characters on the shelf, and at the price point of around 25 bucks, I'm gonna give this Electro a Sud rating of
"It's not so bad."
And I'd like to know what you guys think, so please let me know in the comment section below. If you want to see a photo gallery of images and the latest in Marvel news, you can find it all over at marvelousnews.com. And if you want to stay in touch with me on social media, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, and on whatnot. I'll catch you guys later. Peace!
That's crispy.
Hey, new ShartimusPrime videos. Hey, you should click one. Yeah, click on one of them. Or subscribe if you haven't.
Your face.